I had a lot of breakdowns and I just questioned my whole nursing career, like why I chose this route. So I quit.
Hi everyone, welcome back to this week's work vlog. This morning the weather was very fall-like and I was loving it. I am heading into work and my travel time is around 1 hour to the city, which is quite long, but I got used to it. At least the commute was pleasant. The first thing I do when I get to work is clock in, and then I headed to the break room to drop off my lunch in the fridge. For breakfast today, I bought a breakfast bagel. I made these everything bagels and chicken patties from scratch over the weekend, and they're so good. They're just so much healthier and less processed than store-bought ones, and they're pretty easy to make. If you haven't watched my previous vlog, I did show my process of making it, which you can check out. After breakfast, I got started with work. I first checked my emails and my all scripts for any tasks that came in. Like I previously mentioned, my role is more triage based, so that means I interact with most of my patients over the phone. Coming from bedside, it is definitely a change, but I think that's the beauty of nursing. There's no cookie cutter nursing job because nursing gives you just so much options to be flexible. Sorry guys for the super shaky footage. My DJI camera was touching a binder, so it's going crazy. I gave a shingles vaccine to a patient today. I work in outpatient GI, so most of my injections are actually specialty meds, but I do give vaccinations such as shingles and flu vax as needed. Shingles is a zoster herpes vaccination and needs to be reconstituted. That's why it comes in 2 vials, one with powder and one with just normal saline. So that has to be mixed in order to give the patient the proper dose. Lots of patients need shingles vaccines before starting their specialty GI drug treatment for their disease. That's why it's a pretty common vax that I give in the office. Guess what time it is? My favorite time of the day, lunchtime. I usually take my lunch around 12 or 1 p.m. And for today, I bought leftover pad see ew and oyakodon. I always pack my lunch every day because takeout is very expensive in the city and things add up. And I also like to keep my bank account accountable by meal prepping. I do sometimes get takeout, but that's like once a month or in a blue moon. I am usually allotted 1 hour lunch break, so during this time, I will catch up on Netflix shows, YouTube. I am currently watching Culinary Class Wars and Breaking Bad on Netflix, which I highly recommend. For YouTube, I either watch C-dramas or catch up on my favorite YouTube vlogs. I will also edit my YouTube videos during my free time as well because I am so dedicated and I like to push out the videos for you guys. After work, I headed to Central Park to run. I signed up for a 10K race in November, so I am training every week for it. Wednesdays are my long run days, and today I had to run 3.5 miles. I use the app Run with Hall to keep track of my progress, and it really keeps me accountable. The weather today was absolutely amazing, and even though the run was hard, I still completed my 3.5 and I felt really good about it. Afterwards, I just stretched and walked around the park to cool down. Next day is another work day, yay! For breakfast today, I bought Greek yogurt topped with apples and kiwi berries. I saw these at my local Trader Joe's and had to try these. Surprisingly, they were pretty sweet. Just think of eating regular kiwis without the fur. As you can tell, I am a big breakfast girly. I always need my breakfast to function in the morning. After breakfast, you know the drill, work. The load of work really varies day to day. Some days are chill and the patients that I talk to are sweethearts, and sometimes I just get slammed with a bunch of tasks and get those nasty patients. I tell myself that work is work and don't let that affect my mood for the day. Honestly, it's hard, but I know that's what's most healthy for my mental health overall. For lunch, I am having a tabbouleh bowl with beef shawarma. It was really good. I really enjoyed this meal. I used to meal prep 5 days of the same meal for lunch on Sundays for the week, but now I try to take it easy and just meal prep 1 or 2 days in advance so I get more variety and freshness in my food. Honestly, this alleviated a lot of stress on meal prepping because making 5 portions of lunches in 1 day is very hard and it takes up a lot of time during my weekends. Hi guys, I just came back home and I showered. I just want to give a quick update about my skincare routine. So I've been breaking out a lot the past month. I don't know what's going on. I think it's either the weather change or stress. My skin's just been going crazy. So I got a online prescription called NurRx, I think, and they prescribed me a retinoid called adapalene. It's the 0.3%. If you heard of the different gel that's over the counter, that's 0.10. So it's more stronger, and this is what the derm online recommended. So this is what I'm going to be using. It's my first night tonight, and I think I'm just going to start off like 1 to 2 times a week over moisturizer because my skin's pretty sensitive and I just want to start off slow and not irritated. This is from Ilyum, which is a Korean brand. It's very big bottle and it lasts for a long time. So I get this from Olive Young online, and I think it's a bang for your buck. It's pretty cheap. Sometimes they have like 1+1 deals, and that's literally all I use. And I just put the gel on, and I'll do rub it all over the skin.
So it's currently 10:50 on a Friday night, and I'm thinking about just doing a little story time about my nursing career and why I left bedside. I think this will give a little more insight about me as a person and get to know me a little bit better. So for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Anna. I am a 25-year-old living in New York and working in the city as a nurse. I make lifestyle and occasionally nursing content. So let's just get on with the story. I went to Hunter College in the city and graduated with a bachelor's in nursing. So that was from 2017 to 2021. And during that period of school, I was working about like 8 months as a part-time nursing attendant, which is basically like a nurse aide or medical assistant at the hospital, doing night shifts. That was kind of rough. It was like a med-surg unit. I thought this would give me more experience about what it's like actually working, and I think it did. It was kind of rough, to be honest, because it was during like COVID-ish times, like 2021. That was still when like COVID was still a thing, but we got past it. And then moving forward to 2021 graduation, right after graduation, I studied for their NCLEX and I took it in July. I passed, and then I started applying to jobs because in New York you need your license before you can apply to nursing jobs. The first thing I had in mind when I graduated is that I wanted to work in the ICU. So I applied to a lot of ICU jobs, ICU residency jobs, and I eventually landed a ICU residency at the previous hospital I worked. It was a cardiothoracic ICU and it was really rough. Like starting off not knowing anything as a new grad nurse and starting off at like one of the hardest units. I had a lot of breakdowns. The learning curve was just super high, and I don't think I was fully prepared for that, even though they did train us during that residency period, but I just personally couldn't keep up. So basically I didn't complete residency because I was not up to the par, and that was really sad. I think I really hit a lowest point in my life because I always wanted to be an ICU nurse, and then I had goals of going to CRNA school afterwards. So there was like multiple steps to my plan, but turns out it just wasn't the right path for me at that time. And I was fortunately able to transfer to another unit. It was a cardiac telemetry unit in the same hospital, and I got trained there. I worked there for about close to a year. I think not even a year yet. That was fine. Like I eventually finished my orientation. That was 2 weeks, and I got off to just working by myself as a full-time nurse, night shift. Didn't like the patients, didn't really like the work, didn't like the schedule. There was a lot of times where you were understaffed, so we had to take on like 7 patients to 1 nurse, which is kind of insane for a telemetry unit, so a lot of understaffing, which caused a lot of burnout. And on top of that, night shift was just not for me. I think it just ruined my schedule. My circadian rhythm was kind of off, and I just didn't have the energy to do things on the days that I'm off because I'm always tired. So that was an issue as well. And I was just overall wasn't really happy, and I just questioned my whole like nursing career, like why I chose this route. So I quit. I hit my breaking point that bedside nursing isn't my only choice, and I did not have a job lined up after that. So it was a very risky move. I did have emergency savings that can last me for 6 months. I took some time off and I just healed. And I felt like that was the right thing for me to do at that time. Not very smart financially, but I think for my health, wellness, well-being, I just feel like that was what's needed. That's what my body was calling for. I did search for jobs. I thought I wanted to do like remote job nursing, like case manager. So I did apply. I did get accepted to an insurance agency, but I passed orientation. I started working like 1 to 2 weeks in. I realized I don't like it, did not like the system, did not like how we were understaffed as well. So I decided to quit. That was tough. But the manager was really nice and he understood where I was coming from. So I literally just worked full time for like 2 weeks and I quit. That was, I think, February of 2023. And then I continued to look for jobs, think about what exactly I want to do. And I came across outpatient nursing, so like ambulatory care kind of style. And I started applying and I landed my current job, which is right now a GI ambulatory care nurse. I started this job May of 2023 and I'm still at this job ever since. So this is my whole nursing career job switch type of thing. It's been a journey, but I am super glad that I chose what I did to get to where I am right now, because I am much more happier now than before. And to those people who don't want to do bedside nursing, I encourage you and support you guys to search for multiple options outside of that, because that's the beauty about nursing. It's just that there's so much you can do. Bedside is not the only option you have if you don't like it. So I just want to keep it just open to you guys if you guys are like nursing students or nurses that maybe feel stuck in your current situation. So yeah, that's my story of how and why I left bedside. I think it's pretty typical. I feel like a lot of nurses probably resonate with me on this, especially if you work bedside and night shift. You probably understand what I'm talking about. That's pretty much my little bedtime story. I hope you guys kind of understood my story, and I think that's about it. So I will see you guys in my next video, and thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more content.